Okay, this could be huge, guys. Earlier in the week, New York Times reported about illegally funneled donations to the inaugural committee. News out just now from ProPublica saying that Ivanka Trump worked with members of the inaugural committee to funnel money to the Trump organization, their properties, their hotels, etc. In fact, it appears they have emails of people on the committee warning Ivanka Trump this could be problematic. You're charging twice what the market rate is. If you wind up enriching yourself from the inaugural committee by overcharging, that is illegal. Now, it's already gigantic because that's a potential illegality with involving Ivanka Trump, who's now part of the White House. But it's even bigger than that because one of the things I've been telling you guys is that I've always thought that Donald Trump was not going to be impeached, that he was going to resign. And you think, well, no, Trump's a fighter. He wouldn't do that. You know, he talks about people will revolt, etc. No, first of all, remember, he didn't even want the job. He doesn't want the job. All he wants to do is enrich himself. And like, what, public service? I mean, he likes the power, although he's found out that it's not as powerful as he thought it was, and that he can't just give people orders. Michael Cohen talked about that in an interview earlier today where he explained to ABC News he thought it was going to be like the Trump organization, Donald Trump did, that he would just bark out orders and people would do it. But no, we have a legislative branch, a judicial branch. He doesn't understand any of it. And so he's deeply, deeply frustrated. He can't stand being criticized. He never wanted the job in the first place. Now, he's still going to want to fight, right? I get it. He's not going to want to go quietly into that good night if you got nothing on him, of course. But they're going to have an enormous amount of stuff on him. They already have him on the campaign finance laws. That's a felony, and they got him dead to rights on that. No question about it. So we talked a lot about that on the show, but this Ivanka story just happened right after the show. So, and then of course on the Russia story, there's the Trump Tower. There's so many more. I don't want to rehash all that stuff. But one of the things that I said could actually get Trump to resign is if they had one of his kids breaking laws. And this is what prosecutors do. They go, look, we could go after all of you guys, and you can drag this out. We can go for it. Or you can just resign and say, oh, you got a health issue, you twisted your ankle. Oh, the bone spurs. We could be back to the bone spurs. That's why I always thought they were going to say that he's got Alzheimer's, and although he's a wonderful, heroic president, you know, early set dementia, what could they do? They're not going to want to say dementia. He's not going to like that. But some sort of health ailment, so for the good of the country, he's going to step down, etc. But the only way that he's going to do that, I said, is if they also have one of his kids, no matter how much they have on him. But really, does he care about the other kids? There's only one other person that you know he cares deeply about, and that's Ivanka Trump. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, having emails saying you're overcharging, it's twice the market rate, this is not right, and then she does it anyway. Ooh, okay. So that is potentially super significant because it's just the beginning. But remember, prosecutors are looking into the inaugural committee. So if they conclude that and she tried to enrich herself and her father and the Trump organization by overcharging, that would be criminal. And then you know what I'm gonna say. Tick, 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 tick. Man, so let's see. It's just first stage of it, but you know, like already the drain is swirling or whatever they say. I don't know. The toilet is swirling. He's in a world of trouble, and if they got Ivanka, I think that'll end it. So we'll see what happens. But it's potentially an enormous development, and I wanted to make sure I shared it with you guys. Obviously, if there's more over the weekend, we'll do it live on the show every Monday. You know, we do 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you can, become a member, get all of our programming. So tyt.com/join to become a member and support Home of Progressives and get all of our great programming for just $4.99 over a dozen progressive shows. All right, we'll see you guys soon.